So while I was in LA, I succumbed. I said I wouldn't buy this Art Toolkit. I've been looking at it for a long time. I wanted a little bit bigger size, but then I thought, what with shipping and everything, I thought, well, why don't I just make my own? So you'll see in a previous video, I had this gift card case. I had these quarter pans that I got by accident when I ordered half pans. So I thought, well, why not put them to use? And I think, no, that's okay. I thought I had some mold growing there. Anyways, so that's what I did. And I did a combination of different, what I had in tubes basically, and boiled it down to what I normally paint. And so this would be for mostly urban sketching when I'm out and about. It's nice and light and small. I tried painting the lid. That didn't really work. So what I ended up using were these little tear sheets of palette paper that I just put in here. So that works really well. But there's a video on it, so if you want to know more, you can check that out. So I wasn't sure I should buy this little Art Toolkit. I really like the size, you know, it fits in the palm of your hand. And I thought, well, maybe if I want to go even smaller, I already carry these little tiny sketchbooks. Maybe I'll go even smaller, and then I will do a similar palette with, you know, a cool yellow, warm yellow, you know, cool primaries, warm primaries, etc. But then I was thinking, well, I do like this set and it's small enough. So why don't I make this one like a supplement to this one? And so have some of the colors that I've been missing from this palette, I could now put in here. Like I could add a Cobalt Teal. I don't know which one. I have both Qor and Daniel Smith. I could add, I'm not really happy with the yellow that's in there. I can add that. I can always add more greens. I'm always, you know, looking for greens. And just different ones like a Potter's Pink, and maybe I have Quin Burnt Orange, but maybe you know, raw sienna or burnt sienna or something like that would be better. So I got all my tubes out again, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a supplement to my regular palette, and this will fit in the little pocket beside the bigger palette here. So that will go with that, and Bob's your uncle. So let's get choosing and filling these little tiny pans for the Demi Art Toolkit. So I have whittled them down to kind of 12. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then I'm thinking about these ones. I want to supplement what I have. There's certain colors that when I'm working that I think, oh, I wish I had such and such. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. I wish I had a different kind of brick color, because I do a lot of urban sketching, especially in our neighborhood. And here comes Zoe, because she hurt me. So with that in mind, I know I did want, there she is. Yes, get out of the way. I did want a warmer yellow. I have been using the yellow ochre as a substitute. I have a cool yellow in the nickel titanite by Daniel Smith, and then I have the Naples yellow. But I think it's either take out the Naples yellow and put a proper warm yellow in its place, or put the warm yellow in here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Put the warm yellow in here. So I'm going to have to go out and buy that because I only have pans. I don't have a tube of warm yellow. I also don't have a tube of ultramarine. So I may also add that. So I'm going to keep 2 in reserve. I'm going to put this Opera Rose by Sennelier in this tiny little corner, just like I did with the sepia. So I'm going to add that right now because I only ever need a tiny, tiny little bit. No, Zoe. So just going to let that fall into place there. And so I'll update this little card here. Now Zoe was awake until she heard me talking again, or she was asleep. Anyways, so what I've decided is I'm always looking for other grays because again I do a lot of urban sketching. So this Isaro gray light is really beautiful. So I'm going to add that. So that's a for sure. Cobalt Teal blue is another for sure. I'm going to add that by Daniel Smith. Potter's Pink I don't have. I don't have an orange, which I could make. Zoe. Whoops, sorry about that. I could make that, obviously, same with a purple or a violet. So this may not stay long in here. I'm only going to put a little bit and see how I go, and that way if I have to take it out, that's fine. The Daniel Smith Hooker's Green is really lovely, so I'm going to add that. In substitute for an ultramarine, I have Sennelier's Indathrone blue. So it's a kind of dark blue, but neutral enough that it helps with, right now I have a phthalo Daniel Smith and a Cobalt blue Daniel Smith. And if you want, like I said, I have videos of this setup, so you can refer back to that. And I also have the color palette on my website. So that means that we have, these are for sure, and I think so are these. Burnt Sienna Deep is another one to kind of get that brick color, as well as Raw Sienna and the Lunar Earth. Again, that might be overkill in the earth tones, I'm not sure, so I'll only put a little bit and we'll see how it goes. And then I have the Rich Green Gold, which gives me a nice different green from what I have already. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep a space open for the warm yellow and possibly the ultramarine blue. So I'm going to get to putting what I have now in there, and I'm going to put these aside to decide later if I want to change things up. So let's get pouring. I'm going to put those ones together in somewhat of in order like I would have them here, including the space for the yellow. But these are so handy that they just pop in and out, so it's not that big of a deal. And I'll put the gray there, and sort of like that. All right, so that being the warm yellow, and I'm so glad I got this while I was away, because it has really come in handy. These tubes of paint have been sitting around for a while, and it's nice that I'm able to use them. And that one just has a little bit of binder coming out. Oh, Zoe's trying to get up here. She's an old cat and she's not as sure-footed as she used to be. This is Winsor Newton. I'm gonna have to put her on my lap because she's just gonna get into everything. This is Winsor Newton Potter's Pink. Yep, I'm loving this tool. I don't know what I would have done. Really scraped my fingers trying to get this open. Oh, and a little bit got in to the orange. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Hard to see with the cat's head in the way, but managed that. Make sure I have them on properly because that'll let the air in, and they'll also be harder to get open. So then we will go with taking Zoe's hair out of there. This one's not too bad for opening. Here's the loop. Cobalt Teal. And always be careful of opening Daniel Smith colors because they really come out. I always thought it was because they were so full in their tubes, but that one kind of just came out. And Sennelier Indathrone Blue, sometimes called Indathrone. That open? Yeah. Only gonna put a little bit of this because I might change it up for Ultramarine Blue eventually. And then we have Hooker's Green. That was okay to open. And then Daniel Smith Rich Green Gold. Not easy to open. And this is what I got when I was in LA at the art supply warehouse, but you can get them in other places. On one side it's smooth and the other side it has the ridges. So it's really handy for opening tubes of paint and other things that you might have at home. Especially, I hate to say it, when you're getting older. Okay, this might be a salvage operation. So I'm going to leave this one for now, or I may have to substitute it altogether because it's pretty dry in its tube. And this is Daniel Smith Lunar Earth. And they will settle down. You can get a little stick to move them about a bit to help with that process. And then raw Sienna. And I'm making sure to open these up because away from the palette, because as you see, it's kind of falling off the edges of the tube where it dried, just flaking. And I should these in order so I don't forget what is what. Okay. And then, so that was Raw Sienna. This is Raw Sienna Deep by Vinci. Just gonna put a little bit there. And then the Isaro Gray Light. Definitely need this. Ooh. Oh, that smells terrible for some reason. I hope it's okay. Okay, I may have to rescue that one because I think the binder's split and it's not smelling so great. So I'm not sure what's wrong with that one. Ah, and Zoe is not helping things. Come on, you. So let me rescue that. And then once I get this one rescued too, or a substitute, and then the two that maybe ultramarine blue, maybe warm yellow will be a purchase. I will swatch them out after that. Okay, so I had to get rid of the Daniel Smith Rich Green Gold because it is so dry. I can't get it out of the tube. I'll have to split it open and eventually add it to my Daniel Smith palette. So I don't want to put it in there. So what I did find, and I've put it there, I thought. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. I put the Qor Green Gold in its place. Now with Qor watercolor, I kind of kept it out of my mixed palettes because they kind of fight with each other because of the binder that they use. So it fights with other like gum Arabic based watercolors, which are every other watercolor except for this one. They have a proprietary binder that they use. This is Qor by Golden Artist Colors. So anyways, we'll see how it plays. If it doesn't play nicely, then I will take it out. It's right there. So I'm going to keep these two open for now, and I will update in this video when I add the yellow and whatever mystery color is going to go in there, either ultramarine or another color. And I'm not sure about this Isaro Gray Light. I'm going to let it settle. I've mixed it up. I use these handy things from Starbucks, which I don't think they're using anymore, at least in Canada they're not, but I have a pile of them, so I just like to mix the paints with this. So I mix the pigment with the binder a bit better. It still smells and I don't know why, so I'm kind of worried about that. Anyways, we will see. I am without water at the moment because our building has a slight plumbing issue while we've been away, so I can't really clean up very well. So we're gonna keep that little air it out and I will add 2 more colors to it. So the final piece of the puzzle finally arrived today. I finally have in tube form a warm yellow and an ultramarine. So that was the only thing that was missing from my old palette and that I wanted to include in this new Art Toolkit palette. So they sat around from Jackson's. Jackson sent them right away, but they sat with Canada Post for about a week and a half. So, as usual, not impressed by my own my own country's postal system. But I'm sure everyone has horror stories about their own. So, let's try the Jackson's blue. This was the cheapest but still good quality ultramarine that I could find. So that's why I chose this. And here comes trouble. So nice granulating so far. Numbers 257 ultramarine blue, and it's PB29 as you would expect. So that's gonna go, probably gonna have to shift these around, but for now, I'll just pour out a little bit here and get it drying. I'll probably pour some more when it flattens out a bit. And then I chose 121 Indian Yellow Hue for a really impactful kind of yellow that you'd see in street lights and things like that. Real urban kind of yellow. Just wash that down a bit. So that's the final 2. Look at that. Nice Ukrainian colors. And just pour this out right at the top. And there we go. Palette's good to go. I have been using it. I'll probably do more videos on using this. Of course, this is not the best choice of colors if you're just going to take this out by yourself, but it would work. Anything can work, right? So that's it for now. I will post out a swatch out of all of them together, and I'll put that on my website so that you can download those swatches. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye.